Umar from Brooklyn. Wow, it should end on us.
Hey, Umar, my man. I was hoping you would call. What's on your mind? Like
Okay.
I don't already know. Go ahead.
Here's my problem. If you want to go issue by issue, I think we could spend the entire week doing that.
Yep.
The argument that us ordinary, non-YouTube, non-news people continuously say is this. First off, the fight was Bernie, and it had to be within the DNC, but that wasn't the fight. The fight was establishment. The fight was, let's get away from lesser of two evils. And everybody keeps, it feels like you guys cheerlead this woman. And I get what you're saying. But I say, let's go with that, the climate deniers. Okay. Trump, clearly. All Republicans, clearly. Mitt Romney is like that too, clearly. But if Hillary Clinton is going to support fracking, taking money from engine companies, and all the stuff that will still wreck the climate while saying, I'm not going to deny science, doesn't that result in the same thing? It is not a false equivalency. People are not saying Hillary Clinton is as crazy as Trump. She's clearly an intelligent woman. We are only saying is we've got to stop this constant lesser of two evils. Your tax thing was the same thing they said about Mitt Romney. Okay, we beat him. How are poor people doing? Are the rich less richer? Are they still not stocking their money away and not investing in America and getting busted left and right? But we beat the guy from 2012 who had these crazy don't tax the rich policies. Well, we did it. Okay, so now here we go again with the same argument. And the whole progressive argument in the beginning was we were supposed to get away with that. And what people are perceiving is not that you and TYT are wrong. It sounds like, well, you went right back to it. Now we're cheerleading. Oh, we got to do, because look at Trump. My God, we stop it for it. Thank you very much for saying, well, okay, New York, we just don't want it countrywide. Well, if she is supporting Mitt Romney, who hid videos of the death of a guy to win an election, if she disrespected Black Lives Matter twice on camera, if she is...
You mean Rahm Emanuel?
What,
you must be...
What makes us think that won't happen?
You're talking about Rahm Emanuel,
Where's
not
the
Mitt
evidence?
Romney.
I mean, Romney Emanuel,
Okay,
right. But I'm
right.
saying, what is her actions have shown. Now, she says a lot of words. She had to be forced into selling gay marriage rights. Okay, she got forced into it. Great. But then everyone keeps going, well, we can hold her to the fire afterwards. And I'm with Nick on this. Well, how do you do it? She got 4 years. How? What do you do? Keep protesting? We're doing that now.
All right, so let's...
The idea was we're supposed to be...
But we didn't. But we... Wait a minute. Okay, so let's be clear. We didn't win. We didn't win the primaries. We didn't win whether it was cheated from us. We found evidence that it was cheated from us. It was rigged from the beginning. We didn't win the primaries, right? So getting away from the establishment, we didn't win. We lost, right? I'm legitimately, we lost that, right? So now we are stuck in a fight. Not saying your vote. Hang on. Not saying your vote. You're not talking about your vote, because ultimately your vote is going to be whatever your vote's going to be. Right. I'm not telling. And I think people just I think, Umar, you and a lot of people don't get this. I don't care who you vote for, to be honest with you. Right. Because some people, I'm petty. I would vote just to spite somebody just because I'm in a blue state. I'll do that because I'm a petty person. Right. I don't care who you vote for. But the reality of it is that we are faced with either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump in terms of the momentum of this current election. 6 weeks to go. Jill Stein's not going to cut it. Gary Johnson is not going to cut it.
But we're not saying we're not. Okay, a vote is counted. When the midterms happened, everyone went nuts over the voter apathy, because the numbers of people who refused to vote spoke out. Mm-hmm. When you vote, it's just like the trolling YouTube channels. What I continue to tell people, stop going to the channels, because what you're doing is you're giving them a vote. So when you vote away from that, the first message you're sending is an unacceptance of ways to go. There's nothing, I'm with you. There's nothing we can do about who the front one is. Whether you want to call it a fix, whether they won naturally, because whatever you want to call it, there's nothing you can do. But you're treating us like we're stupid. We know this. What we're arguing is we don't have to accept it. That's all we're saying. Why do we have to accept it? Because Donald Trump is crazier? Oh, my God, I lived in Reagan. Jeez.
Say that last part again?
I had students. Hold on. Let me point this out. I had grants going to college because I started going to college. The reason why I had to go to the Air Force was when Reagan came in, they ran this BS about college students to support themselves, which turned into college students having to take student loans. That did not happen, and this is why, you know, I'm not unsubscribing with I disagree with you because you have a good point. Let me explain this to people. I was in my third week of class, first year. Not next semester. When I got called into the student aid office and told me your grants are gone. Mm-hmm. What? I was like, doesn't that take time to implement? No,
nope.
Apparently it didn't.
What year was that, Umar?
But what I'm saying
what year
is
was that?
Reagan was the bad guy. That was 1980. I had to go into the Air Force in order to support myself to college. I had no choice. And luckily for me, I went into the armed forces at that time. There were no wars. I mean, not the wars where they were pulling people left and right. Mm-hmm. I missed Grenada by inches.
Okay, and let me ask, because I have to ask this question, Umar. I have to ask this question. I have to ask this question. Had Jimmy Carter won, and a lot of people don't credit Jimmy Carter, but Jimmy Carter was a neoliberal too. Had Jimmy Carter won, Jimmy Carter would not have gutted the grant program for students.
I don't think so. I agree with you.
So,
but I think
but Jimmy Carter was a
saying is this time. When are we going to change it? Every year, it's oh my God, they're worse. So we got to do this one because.
Well, hang on. I'm asking you a very specific example on Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. Jimmy Carter would not have gutted the federal grant program, but Jimmy Carter was a neoliberal. He was like the first Democratic neoliberal, softly, right? He was the segue into your Bill Clinton. He was, in your specific case, the thing that happened to you, he was clearly the lesser of the two evils between Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter would have had policies that would not have hurt you specifically. Would you at least agree to that?
Yes.
And
I agree.
What
but
I am saying,
we think Hillary will have policies that will hurt us specifically. It might not be Trump's policies, but it'll be hers. They're not the same policies. We're not saying that. We're saying there's a set of things this woman might do, and there's a set of things this guy might do, and we're refusing the worst thing. And that's all we're saying. We're not stupid. We don't think that one will be magical. I think the Trump thing is ridiculous. No. Count your vote in another direction. Saying we're going to support Trump because I hate Hillary. I agree. That's nuts.
That's what I'm saying.
But but my argument is when your vote is counted, maybe Jill Stein might not win, but you're giving better numbers and giving them a preamble of what's coming next. Well, okay, this time we're not going to support you. Next time we're going to try and get a candidate in there by our sheer numbers. But if we all coalesce to one or the other, we're not doing that. We're not following the actual agenda we set out to start.
So, Umar,
I think I'm arguing.
I think you and I are actually arguing the same thing, and we're on the same page, but we're not. You think I'm telling people? Have you ever? And I want you to go find me the receipts. Have you ever found me tell anyone that they have to vote for Hillary Clinton?
No, that's not what I think you're doing. I think you're dismissing what people are saying.
No, I know this is what I'm specific. I'm dismissing the same thing that you got. The same thing that you dismissed is the same thing that I'm dismissing. This idea that we should vote for Trump because we're angry at Hillary Clinton, or the idea that Donald Trump is not a problem, and that Donald Trump is that Hillary Clinton is an equivalent problem. Hillary Clinton is a problem in her own right, but she is not on issue by issue the same exact problem that Donald Trump is. And there is a concerted effort by a lot of progressives who are politically just upset, and I get it, who are trying to go point by point and draw an equivalency on line item after line item that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are the same, and they are clearly not the same. Donald Trump is going to hurt people that Hillary Clinton will not. Hillary Clinton is going to hurt people that Donald Trump may not, but I would argue he probably will. I will argue they're going to both bomb the Middle East. They're both going to continue neoliberalism. They're both going to support fracking. But you know what? There's still another layer on top of Donald Trump that I feel that Hillary Clinton is not going to do. Just like with Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan in your year, they both probably were going to institute some tax cuts. But there's a good chance, knowing the history of Jimmy Carter, that he would not have gutted your specific programs that you needed to go to college. And what I'm saying is Donald Trump has made it clear the people that he is going after. And I hate the fact that we just callously dismiss those people who are going to be hurt by Donald Trump's very specific items, because we're very specific policies that he's personally advocating for, because we're in this exercise of drawing a line item equivalency between Trump and Clinton. And I don't think it exists. I think Hillary Clinton has enough for us to fight her tooth and nail over the next 4 years. I just happen to think Donald Trump has more. And if I've got to fight one, I would rather fight against Hillary Clinton than a fight against Donald Trump. That's my position.
Okay. Can I offer this last?
Yeah, man, you got we're in the overtime.
My thing is that I get where, that's why I'm not being dismissive of TYT or anything like that. I get it. But my point is that you guys are the voice. You're the new media. You know, it's kind of like Louisa Vendetta. You're the voice. So you've got to appreciate that no matter how hard you try, it still sounds a little like cheerleading for Hillary. I know you're not, but I have been politically fighting crap for years. I'm 53. I think I started when I was like 20. I first got the angry black. So I get it. But my point is that this comes back to that you have that the ordinary progressive, I don't know where Black Lives Matter got that we're going to support Trump stuff from. I don't even know if it was all of them. I don't get it. But I equally don't get people who are just as vehemently on Hillary. My thing is, why aren't the voices pushing more for the change that we were supposed to be? We were never fighting just the Dems. Bernie was supposed to be a foot soldier in the fight. The fight was against the whole system. And the whole system, what happened to the little elections? What happened to the satellite? All we're ever talking about is why Donald Trump is worse than Hillary. Nobody's talking about, okay, you know what? It's time to, look, pick who you're going to pick, but whoever gets up there, we got to change the system. And no one's doing that in our mind. That's why we're getting upset. We're like, wow.
I've got plenty of risk. You know what? And this is why I think you guys are unfortunately, I mean, it's not just you. It's not just you guys. I actually felt this myself. Right, it's a political PTSD. We have this tunnel vision about Hillary Clinton and the Democratic establishment, and we forget the fact that we are working behind the scenes on plenty of projects to actually bring that change. We are working on this. I mean, like, if you're talking about content that we put out, when I say we, I'm talking about me. I've got hours of content discussing the exact thing that you're outlining. But what I'm saying right here, right now, today, is that the conversations, it's impossible and irresponsible for me not to point out the problems with Donald Trump just as fiercely as you all enjoyed me pointing out the problems with Hillary Clinton. And every time I point out a problem about Donald Trump, everyone automatically translates that into cheerleading for Hillary Clinton. And life doesn't really work like that. It doesn't. Donald Trump has problems that must be pointed out. And if we don't point them out, then we're being disingenuous to the truth. Just like all the hours of video that anybody can go pull up right now, or audio, where I pointed out item by item that we need to take Hillary Clinton to task every single day. This election is this election. It's right here in front of us. I mean, it's in 6 weeks. And the real question is, who's going to be working after that? But we're still on our way there. We still have to address the issues that come up. And we still still have to address the fact that you have a candidate who is out there, who's advocating for national stop and frisk, who's advocating for all these things, and you guys expect me not to talk about it? You expect me to give Donald Trump a pass because it somehow benefits Hillary Clinton? Come on. Come on, folks. You've been watching me long enough to know that wherever there's some bullshit, I have to go smoke it out. Good night.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support The Benjamin Dixon Show. If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.